So I did a video a while back on the Turnspro, which is a rotating time-lapse toy, and I wasn't very impressed with how non-smoothly it moved, but I returned it, and I fed back to the company that make it, and they've replied to say that they've improved it to get rid of this issue. So I bought another one so I can try it. Previously I've been using a clockwork time-lapse toy or just a kitchen timer, and they turn really smoothly, but it will only turn at a certain speed, so 60 minutes for a full turn, and it will only turn in one direction. So the Turnspro, the idea is that it can turn either way at any speed, and with really nice controls, which is a great idea. And it's pretty affordable. I mean, it's much more reasonable than some of the other ones that I've seen, which just were out of my budget. So it comes in this beautiful packaging. This is it's a lovely box with the details on the thing. Mine got damaged in the post, but hopefully that was just unlucky. And when you pull the top off, you've got the instructions, insert 4 AA batteries, how to set through the menus. It's all really smart, looks really nice. Inside you get a little clip for putting a mobile phone on top, which I'm not a fan of, but I'm sure others are, and the Turnspro unit itself. It's a very, very neat design with 3 very simple buttons. Let's go through the buttons. So the center button is the power button, then you've got a plus symbol there, and you've got like a return key here. So you hold down the power button to turn it on. It comes on with a backlight, but if I just turn it off, it's a deal easier to see on the camera. So you've got the turns is flashing top left, and then you can toggle between turns and degrees. So we want degrees. Turns would be if you wanted to turn 1, 2, 3 turns. Degrees if you want to turn a subset of that. Then you get the direction symbol, which is not very clear, but just next to degrees there's a little flashing camera, and it's currently in the middle. Now if I push the plus button, it'll go sweep left, right. And basically that's if I want it to do one pass or whether I want it to go back and forward. So let's go back and forwards. The next clockwise is flashing, which I'm happy with, but you can change it to anti-clockwise depending which way you want it to turn if you're doing a single pass. Then you've got the degrees, so you can do any adjustment from 15 degrees all the way up to 270, 300, 360, and then back. So for this I'm just going to turn it to 90 degrees, and then you can set the number of hours. And so again, you could set, if you wanted it to take 1 hour or whatever, then you set the number of minutes. So if I want to say 1 minute, and then lastly the seconds. So you've got real flexibility in the speed of the turn and the direction, which is amazing. And then when you confirm the seconds, then it starts to turn. So now let's just put it down. If I just twist a GoPro on there, the issue I had before was how smoothly it turned. And if I put a straw on it, it was very jerky. So let's just stick this GoPro on here. Okay, so just to test the smoothness again, the same as we did last time, I'll get a brand new McDonald's straw. I'll just tape that onto the top of the GoPro. And then we'll just turn this on. And we'll do turns, clockwise. We'll do 1 turn, 1 hour. But basically the issue before was that it would sort of jump and then stop and jump and stop. And that's absolutely fine. And there's a slight sort of ever so slight ticking to the motion, but it's continuous and regular. It's not it doesn't skip a hop and then carry on, which is the issue before. No, I'm perfectly happy with that. So I just show this speeded up 4 times just so you can see just how smoothly it's turning, and I mean there's no jerkiness or jumping as before at all. It's this looks perfect. And the other feature I just wanted to mention, which I couldn't see on the box, but it is very clever, is that say you set up your time lapse, say you're doing an hour or longer, really slow time lapse, and then you want to change the start position. If you push the enter button, which will pause, and you'll see the clock will stop counting, and then if you push the plus button, it will rotate, so you can reset it to whatever position you like. So say this is currently sweeping left to right. Say I want to start from the full right. All I have to do is hold that button. It turns around, it takes a minute or so, but I can get it in the position I want to start the time lapse. So say I want to start at that position. Then when I push the return key, the countdown starts up again, and it'll start moving from that position. So let's just pause it and move it back so you can see it in shot. Okay, so it's now ready to start, and then I can push, and then it'll start the ticking out, the counter times down, and it's moving now. So that looks really good to me. And well, obviously when it stays on, I can't can't have that. So yeah, so that's a real improvement. And I understand there's also some other changes, not just the rubber output bushing, there's also some other changes, but either way it's a really good improvement. The only thing to be aware of is if you're buying a Turnspro, you need to just look underneath and check that it says Turnspro batch number 2. So you see this here, you want a batch 2 because batch 2 has got these changes, so just be aware of that. If you're going to buy one, I would just ask if it's a batch 2, because I'm sure the shops that selling these will know. If you're ordering it direct from Turnspro, just make sure you specify that you want a batch 2, but I'm guessing that they will they'll all be revised. So yeah, so I think that's a really useful toy. Hope that's helpful. I'll put some examples at the end, and I'll just leave this running just for some speeded up smooth shot.